And ahead of the presidential election, governors of Bayelsa and Edo visited their Delta State counterpart and the PDP Vice Presidential candidate Ifeanyi Okowa. The governors appealed to the G5 governors to sheathe their sword and work for the victory of the PDP in the forthcoming polls. The governors, who were in Owalero country home of Governor Okowa in Ika North-East Council, said the visit is to felicitate with him for the new year.
For us, we want a united PDP, and at all times when we meet, we always focus on the unity of the party. And we are not foreclosing speaking to our brothers. Even today, we've talked about that, and we are still calling on our brothers to be part of their own party and work in unity with every other person.
A new year, and at this time, we're supposed to go around felicitating as family, to wish each other well, and pray together, and hope that the new year brings good tidings. So we're here today to visit with our brother, and by the grace of God, our next Vice President, to wish him good tidings, wish him well.
A coalition of political activists has called for a peaceful election as Nigerians go to the polls next month. The Coalition for Peace and Good Governance frowns at the increasing rate of violence between and among political parties and candidates for the elections. TVC News senior correspondent Joke Adisa has details.
2023 is no doubt significant in Nigeria's political history, as new set of leaders that will pilot its affairs in another 4 years would be elected. But the build-up to the election is soaking up so much tension, despite the signing of a peace accord by politicians. Political campaigns are turning bloody, and the Nigeria police force has its hands full maintaining peace and order.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
This group of Nigerians is disturbed by the worsening trend political campaigns are taking, leading to gruesome killings and maiming of perceived political opponents. The coalition urges politicians to be mindful of the need for a peaceful atmosphere before, during, and after the elections. COPGO warns politicians and their supporters against truncating the forthcoming general election.
Nobody must be allowed to jeopardize the peaceful conduct of that election. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari has emphasized time and again his determination to ensure a free, fair, and credible election in a peaceful atmosphere.
Last week's blast that rocked Kogi State was also a talking point for the consent group. COPGO condemns the spontaneous manner some politicians hurriedly posted the unfortunate incident on the social media.
Such an incident that has claimed more than 3 lives, according to report, to what you think is a political gain and a campaign tool. It does not happen in any society. Should have been a moment where everyone should have come together, to be sober. But rather, we saw, some politicians celebrating the fact that, oh, good, it was an embarrassment, maybe for the incumbents.
A recent deadly attack on a former governor of Imo State, Ikedi Hakim, an alleged threat to a PDP stalwart, Ikenga Ugochinyere, also has the group worried. It condemns the assassination attempt that led to the killing of 4 security officials and seeks the arrest and prosecution of perpetrators.
As the elections draw nearer, we must all act in the spirit of nobody's blood is what to be spilled for the political ambition of anybody. A violence-free election is an irreducible minimum standard that this country deserves, and whoever plans to make that impossible must be curtailed by whatever means possible.
In all, the coalition calls on every citizen, particularly those of voting age, to join hands with INEC, security agencies, and other key actors to guarantee a itch-free, peaceful and credible 2023 general election in the overall interest of the country and its people. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the 2023 budget of 21.83 trillion naira along with the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Bill into law. The president said the aggregate expenditures of 21.83 trillion naira is an increase of 1.32 trillion naira, and he explained that the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act would enable the administration to respond to the havoc caused by the recent nationwide floods on infrastructure and agricultural sectors. TVC News State House correspondent Ifeanyi Okowa reports.
The 21.8 trillion naira budget is the eighth and last to be signed by President Muhammadu Buhari. The National Assembly added 1.32 trillion naira over the initial executive proposal for a total expenditure of 20.51 trillion naira. It appears Mr. President isn't too comfortable with the adjustments made.
Considering the imminent transition process to another democratically elected government, I decided to sign the 2023 Appropriation Bill into law as passed by the National Assembly to enable its implementation to commence without delay.
President Buhari is concerned about the National Assembly's refusal to approve his plan to restructure the 22.7 trillion naira loans the Central Bank of Nigeria extended to the federal government under its Ways and Means provision.
Failure to grant the securitization approval will, however, cost the government about 1.8 trillion naira in additional interest in 2023, given the differential between the applicable interest rates, which is currently monetary policy rate plus 3%, and the negotiated interest rate of 9% and a 40-year repayment period.
The president says the National Assembly and the executive need to capture some of the proposed additional revenue sources in the fiscal framework.
There faces challenges of revenue, and this is going to be our focus. This is going to be what the National Assembly, both chambers, will ensure that we get revenues.
It takes all arms of government to be on board to give a true working document for the country.
The 2023 budget already contains adequate provisions for the successful conduct of the general election and the transition program. As the budget implementation takes effect, President Buhari wants ministries, departments and agencies and government-owned enterprises to intensify their revenue mobilization efforts. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.